Welcome to Marketing in the Analog World. Thanks for being part of this course. I'd like to begin by giving you an overview of the course and tell you where we're going and what you will learn. This course is part of the University of Illinois' Digital Marketing Specialization. However, this course is a bit different from the other courses in our specialization. And it's also unlike any other course in this domain. In fact, to the best of my knowledge, there's no other course quite like it anywhere in the world. Since this course is breaking new ground, it was a bit challenging to develop. There are no textbooks on this topic and very few articles about this subject. As a result, I had to create this course from scratch. So while some of the ideas are well developed, others are a bit more speculative. I suggest that you think of this course as an early exploration rather than a finished dissertation. And I hope that you will enrich it with your questions, suggestions, and ideas. Now, when I was in college, one of my favorite classes was an Introduction to Anthropology course that I took with a great professor named Kenny Fader. One of the things I remember from this course was that Professor Fader said the goal of anthropology was to make the strange familiar and the familiar strange. In essence, that is what we will do here in this course. We'll take a close look at a familiar territory, the analog world, and carefully consider how it's affected by something that is still new and somewhat strange, the digital world. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Back when I was in high school, many, many years ago, listening to music was strictly an analog activity. You either listened to FM radio and hoped they would play a song that you liked, or you bought a vinyl record or perhaps a cassette tape that included your favorite songs. Now, back in 1983, if you wanted to buy a record, you went to your local record store where you had a lot to choose from. Back then, there were about 1 billion record albums sold across the world. Then the digital revolution arrived. The first stage of this revolution was the compact disc, which allowed music to be stored in digital form and promised a better listening experience. By 1993, worldwide record album sales dipped to only 100 million. This was also the year in which improvements in data compression technology led to the introduction of the MP3 file, which eliminated the need to go to a record store altogether. So music became something you could download on your computer. The second part of the digital revolution further reduced the sales of record albums, which hit an all-time low of just 3 million in worldwide sales by the year 2006. Thus, it seemed clear that this analog technology was being dominated by the digital. And then something happened. Around 2008, people started turning back to the analog. And over the past decade, sales of vinyl albums have increased each year and are now at their highest level in nearly 30 years. Many of these albums are being sold at physical retailers, including a growing number of local record stores, such as Exile on Main Street here in Champaign, as well as in national chains, such as Barnes & Noble and Urban Outfitters. Thus, it appears that, at least in some cases, analog music is resisting the digital revolution. In addition to this revival of local record stores, vinyl records are also a hot commodity online. You can find websites for locating hard-to-find records, as well as online communities in which vinyl aficionados can chat and coordinate physical events like Record Store Day, which is held every April. This is a great example of synergies between the analog and the digital. Now, although they may look the same as records that were sold back when I was in high school, many of today's vinyl records have been transformed by the digital revolution. For example, the website vinylize.it allows anyone to make their own vinyl record out of a SoundCloud track. This is a radical transformation of the traditional record-making process. As you can see from the example of vinyl records, the digital revolution has impacted the analog world in a number of different ways. In some cases, the digital has dominated the analog. In other cases, the analog has resisted the digital. And in some cases, the digital provides synergy with the analog or has even transformed its basic nature. Our course will explore each of these 4 types of relationships in order to enhance your understanding of marketing in an analog world. We'll examine each of these 4 relationships using a variety of learning modalities, including video lectures, real-world case studies, hands-on exercises, vicarious experiences, and interviews with faculty experts. By engaging in these various learning activities, you will increase your appreciation of how analog marketing is being affected by the digital revolution. More specifically, there are 4 key lessons that I hope you'll take away from this course. First, the analog and the digital are 2 very different worlds, and they each have their own distinct sets of benefits. Second, the value of these different sets of benefits will depend upon a number of factors, such as the type of product, buyer characteristics, or geographic location. Third, the relative value of analog and digital benefits affect the relationship between these 2 types of technologies. For example, when the benefits of the digital exceed the benefits of the analog, we will usually see cases of digital dominance. Fourth and finally, within each of these 4 types of analog and digital relations, that's dominance, resistance, synergy, and transformation, we'll see regularly occurring patterns across different products and services. Knowledge of these patterns can be used to enhance your ability to successfully engage in marketing in an analog world. Well, are you ready to explore the analog world? Great. Let's get started.